Hey everyone, it's December 31st, and that means that if today's your birthday, you share with serial killer John Allen Muhammad, known as the DC Sniper, who along with Lee Boyd Malvo murdered 17 victims in the fall of 2002, and that is him right over there. Born John Allen Williams in 1960, Muhammad grew up in New Orleans, being raised by his grandfather and an aunt after his mother died of breast cancer and his father left the family when he was just 3 years old. After serving in the Louisiana National Guard beginning in 1978, he enlisted in the Army in 1985, where he earned the Expert Rifleman's badge for his skill with long-range weapons. In 1987, he joined the Nation of Islam and later served in the First Gulf War. He was honorably discharged in 1994 and participated in the Million Man March on Washington in 1995, providing security for the event. Twice married and divorced, Muhammad was involved in a custody battle over his children, and in 1999, he kidnapped them and fled to Antigua. He had repeated convictions for violating a restraining order, which prohibited him from owning a gun under federal law. While in Antigua, he met Lee Boyd Malvo, a 14-year-old boy from Jamaica who would become his accomplice. He changed his name from Williams to Muhammad in October of 2001 and expressed admiration for Osama bin Laden. But this time, he was back in the U.S., living in Washington State with Malvo, who had been caught crossing the border as an undocumented entrant to the U.S., so he was also prohibited from owning a gun. Muhammad had convinced the now 17-year-old Malvo that he had a plan to extract $10 million in ransom from the U.S. government that he would use to form a utopian colony in Canada. To help with his plan, Malvo stole a Bushmaster rifle from a gun store, and the two began their murder spree. The first victim was in Tacoma, the niece of a friend of Muhammad's ex-wife. A month later, a man was shot on a golf course in Arizona while the pair were practicing their tactics. 5 more deaths and 7 injuries followed as they headed east before making their mark in the Washington, D.C. area. Muhammad modified the trunk of his car to have a hole just above the license plate, allowing the pair to have one person drive and one person lay down in the back and shoot without being seen. When they arrived in D.C., they embarked on a 23-day reign of terror that saw 10 victims shot dead and 3 more injured in Maryland and Virginia. The plan was to kill 6 victims per day for 30 days, but heavy traffic made it difficult to get to their predetermined sniping locations, and that's why I feel safe living in the Los Angeles area. Tarot cards were often left behind at the crime scenes, providing cryptic messages to the authorities. Notes were left asking for $10 million to stop killing, and a phone call was placed to police in which Muhammad mentioned a previous killing in Alabama they had committed on their cross-country murder tour. Malvo's fingerprints had been found at that scene, and as he was known to associate with Muhammad, the police had their suspects. Near the end of October, the pair were found sleeping in their car at a rest stop. Tried for murder in both Virginia and Maryland, Malvo received life in prison and Muhammad the death penalty. Malvo remains behind bars and is set to be resentenced after Supreme Court rulings about the constitutionality of life sentences for juveniles, and it seems likely that he will eventually be released on parole, though his first attempt was denied last year. Muhammad was executed by lethal injection in Virginia in 2009 after eating a final meal of chicken with red sauce and a slice of cake. If this is your birthday, I hope you have a great day. Leave me a comment so I can wish you a happy birthday. If you know someone whose birthday it is today, send them this video so they can find out all about their birthday twin. And to John Allen Muhammad, I say, happy birthday, you bastard.